General Hospital will reveal plot details for the week of January 6 to January 10, 2024. First, Alexis, who has always prided herself on balancing logic and emotion, is facing a difficult internal conflict. As a mother, she is constantly trying to connect her two daughters, Christina and Molly, who have opposing personalities but are equally important to her. Alexis believes that helping them reconcile will not only strengthen family bonds but also bring peace to herself. However, her simmering resentment toward Ava, partly due to complicated events in the past, is quietly undermining this effort. Alexis cannot forget the harm Ava has caused, even though Ava has recently tried to change and show goodwill. The obsession with justice and the need for punishment creates a dilemma for Alexis as she watches Ava try to connect with Christina. She fears that Ava's presence will sabotage the fragile sisterly bond between her daughters. The more she tries to suppress her negative emotions, the more Alexis finds herself caught in a vicious cycle, torn between hatred and love. Every time Alexis looks at Molly, she is reminded of the harm Ava was involved in, making it hard for her to forgive. However, Alexis also realizes that if she allows hatred to lead, she will not only destroy her daughter's relationship but also make herself weaker. Letting go of these deep wounds is not easy, especially when they are intertwined with feelings of helplessness and wounded pride. This places Alexis in a dilemma. Can she overcome herself to put her family first, or will she let personal emotions drive everything into ruin? Tuesday, Sonny, after suffering a stressful heart attack, faces a harsh reality. His body can no longer endure the constant pressure and stress of life in the underworld. After waking up in the hospital, Sonny cannot avoid questioning what he has done, what he has, and what he might lose. While he has escaped death this time, the health warning signs can no longer be ignored. For the first time in his life, Sonny is forced to seriously consider his future and choices he had never before considered. Alexis, who understands the dangers of Sonny's current lifestyle, lied to him, saying that leaving the mob would be easier than he thinks. She hopes this will convince Sonny to change before it's too late, but Alexis knows this is not an easy decision. Retiring means Sonny would have to leave behind power, control, and the networks that have shaped his identity for years. Moreover, if Sonny decides to step away, the next question is even harder: who will replace him? Josslyn, Sonny's most loyal friend, may be the obvious choice. However, in recent years, Josslyn has sought a quieter life, less dependent on the mob world. He no longer feels the need to prove anything and is uninterested in the pressures that Sonny's position brings. Josslyn's hesitation only deepens Sonny's sense of isolation and frustration. The prospect of stepping down threatens not only the empire Sonny has built but also stirs his fear of losing his own identity. In the midst of this crisis, Sonny must make a decision: continue down the risky path, despite the health risks and the safety of his family, or choose to rest and hand everything over to an uncertain future. Whatever the decision, Sonny knows that each step from here on out will have irreversible consequences, not only for him but for all those he loves. Second, after all the chaos in Prague, the consequences are becoming clear, not only for Charlotte but also deeply affecting Valentine and Lulu. Charlotte, a sensitive but strong girl, has faced immense pressure witnessing the never-ending arguments between her parents. After the recent events, Charlotte has made the difficult decision to choose who she wants to live with. Valentine, with his intense love for his daughter, feels heartbroken at the prospect of Charlotte leaving him. However, he understands that forcing or fighting for custody will only hurt Charlotte more. Despite the complexities of the past, Valentine decides to put his daughter's happiness above his own pride. He remains calm, hiding his pain to protect Charlotte from guilt or pressure. Deep down, Valentine hopes that no matter what Charlotte chooses, the bond between them will not be broken. Lulu is also struggling with conflicting emotions. As a mother, she yearns to be with Charlotte every day, but Lulu knows that every decision must come from what is best for her child. The years of fighting with Valentine have taught her that hostility only traps Charlotte between two worlds. Lulu is determined to respect Charlotte's choice, even though it might deeply hurt her. When Charlotte shares her decision, both Valentine and Lulu try to suppress their emotions to show support and agreement. They understand that acceptance is not only an act of love but also the only way for Charlotte to feel safe and loved, no matter whom she chooses. Charlotte's decision becomes a new starting point, forcing Valentine and Lulu to learn how to cooperate for the sake of their daughter, even though past wounds still hurt. But for all three, this could be an opportunity to rebuild a family in a way no one ever imagined. Third, after much consideration, Sasha has decided to stay in Port Charles instead of running away as she had initially planned. Although this is a brave decision, staying will bring its own set of challenges. Sasha will have to face the curious eyes and gossip from the Quartermaine family, where every action becomes a topic of conversation. Some members of the family, known for their meddling nature, begin to interfere too much in Sasha's life, making her feel pressured and invaded. However, Sasha understands that she needs to stand firm and prove that she is not easily swayed by schemes or criticism from those around her. Meanwhile, the custody battle between Michael and Willow is becoming increasingly complicated. Although they have always stood by each other, they cannot avoid the difficulties and tensions arising from outside factors. Michael, with the determination of a father, is fighting not only for his child but also for the family he has protected. Willow, despite facing health challenges, remains steadfast. However, the complexity of the situation makes everything not as easy as they hoped. Carly, noticing that her son needs support, steps in. With her strong protective instincts, Carly is not afraid to confront anyone in her way, even if it means facing difficult moral choices. Additionally, the growing feelings between Drew and Willow take a surprising turn, pushing the story in a new, more complicated direction. Drew, though unintentionally, has let his feelings for Willow become more apparent, making their relationship more tangled. This not only sparks internal conflicts but also fuels Nina's anger, as she already harbors deep grievances. Nina feels threatened as everything seems to be shifting in favor of Willow and Michael. Her anger not only leads to emotional decisions but could further complicate the already tense battle between the parties. These overlapping tensions not only put each character in difficult situations but also increased the pressure on their relationships with family and loved ones. The battle between emotions, loyalty, and ambition promises to create unexpected twists, forcing all of them to face tough choices in the near future. Josslyn feels as if her world has collapsed when she holds Dex's autopsy report in her hands. Every word on the paper feels like a stab to her heart, awakening a deep and unrelenting pain. As she reads through the conclusions about the cause of death, Josslyn notices something isn't right. Inconsistent details, unsatisfactory answers, and vague points make it impossible for her to sit still. Questions echo in her mind: who did this? Why did it happen? Josslyn feels she cannot let Dex be forgotten as an anonymous victim in the underground power struggle. She decides she must uncover the truth, even if it takes her into the darkest and most dangerous corners of Port Charles. To do this, Josslyn begins gathering any information she can. In her heart, finding Dex's killer is not just about seeking justice for him, but also about confronting her own pain. Her anger and determination become a source of strength, pushing her forward even as everyone around her warns that she is heading into danger. She cannot accept a world where Dex is not properly remembered and the killer remains free. This journey is not only a quest for truth but also a rite of passage for Josslyn. She realizes the hidden strength within herself, the courage to face much larger forces, and the true meaning of fighting for justice. But Port Charles is a place full of secrets, and there are people willing to do anything to protect them. Josslyn will have to face the question: will she be willing to risk everything to bring the truth to light, or will she find another way to keep Dex's memory alive in her heart? Finally, Brennan is increasingly torn between his original goals and the growing feelings for Carly. He came to Port Charles with a clear plan, but Carly's strong presence and determination have shaken everything. Carly not only draws Brennan in but also makes him question the real value of the goals he has been pursuing. This emotion complicates everything as Brennan's hidden secrets threaten to destroy the fragile relationship between them. Carly, with her sharp instincts, begins to notice that something is off, making Brennan even more anxious that the truth will push her away. He finds himself trapped between keeping secrets to protect his plan and risking everything for love. Brennan realizes that Carly has the power to change his life completely, but to be with her, he may have to give up everything he once thought was important. This internal struggle pushes Brennan into tough decisions, where love and goals continue to conflict.